The problems we're facing in our political system are systemic, and they're many-fold. First of all, most people aren't voting, and there are many reasons for that. One is voter registration was designed to keep people from voting. But people know the system's not working. The system's not working for most people in our state and our country, so people aren't voting. So that's the first. So this is the fire of democracy. Rick has to take a step back because most people aren't voting. It's getting a little bit cold. It's going to get colder. It's going to get colder because those who do vote, most of us in South Carolina don't have a choice. 76% of us only have one person to vote for in the general election. So we have to take another step back because most of us don't vote. Those who do vote, they don't even have a choice. And then those who do have a choice, who wins most of the time? Is it the candidate who's the smartest, the most progressive? Or is it the candidate who raises the most money? And the incumbents? Or both? Well, the last time we ran the numbers, it's either the incumbent or the candidate who raised the most money won 98% of the time in South Carolina. So that's another step back. So we're not voting. Those who do vote don't have anybody to vote for. If you do have a choice, it's really not a choice because money and incumbency wins. And then what happens, the final result, take another step back, Rick's freezing. The final result is the free market. Big money sets our social policies, right? What's the only country among the advanced democracies that does not have universal health care? Take a wild guess. Right, what's one of the few countries in the world that doesn't have paid sick leave? Wow. The cost of medicine here is skyrocketing. Guess what country, and here's another one, guess which country can't sell a lot of its agricultural products in Europe and Japan because they're banned? Because of pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and chemicals. Schools and prisons are privatized. Which country has the most prisoners in the world? Again, our democracy is broken. So that's the layout. If you go to the next. I already read that slide. If you go to the next one. So I'm going to go through these numbers, and what I just laid out, that's the problem. There are two parts to this presentation. When you take this, I mean, we're expecting to get a flood of calls and emails asking for this PowerPoint presentation so you can take this back to Jasper, Conway, Horry, Rock Hill, and other parts of the Midlands. But when you take it back, there are two parts to this presentation: the problems, which we just laid out, and then solutions. So we're going to get to the solutions before you slash the wrist. But so the United States worldwide, if you look at it from a global perspective, what is our rank? What do you think our rank is out of 169 countries? What do you think our rank is in terms of voter participation?
Number one.
Number one?
145.
Okay, next slide. We're near the bottom. We're near the bottom in terms of voter participation is what it comes down to. This is a process where tweaking this and making it even better. 31 out of 34 nations of the advanced nations that were analyzed, we were 31st in terms of voter participation. So again, there's this myth that the United States is number one in everything, but it turns out we're not. South Carolina ranked 39th among the states in terms of voter participation. One with between 56 and 76% of the vote, and three that were more mildly competitive, where the winner only won with 55% of the vote or more or less. And so that's a lot of numbers, a lot of information. So what we need to do, what we're able to do now, is go and make this county specific, and also make people understand, help people understand that gerrymandering, this is not something that one or the other party did, that this was a bipartisan issue, a bipartisan effort created this gridlock, this ineffective government that set us up for massive corruption that's yet to be revealed. But Horry County, what do you think Horry County is? Majority Republican or Democratic? Republican. Yeah, Republican. So most of the Senate, the state senators and state legislators from Horry County won with what percentage of the vote did they win with? Say it. 99 or 98% of the vote. Most of them won with 99 or 90% of the vote. Most of these are Republicans, a few Democrats, and most of them won with 99% of the vote in Horry County. And in Richland County, do you think Richland County is majority Democrat or Republican for our legislative delegation? It's majority Democrat, but do you think they were more competitive with our elections in Richland County? No, of course not. It was the same thing. Mostly Democrats here in this particular county. Most of them won with what percentage of the vote?
99.
99% of the vote. So the big picture, and sum this up and bring it home with solution. We've got horrible voter participation. Voter registration has always been used to keep people. Voter registration, very briefly, who were the first people who could vote in South Carolina?
White men with land.
White men with land over age 21. And we have some of the least competitive legislative elections in the nation, and now we're saying the world, because in Haiti, about 19% of their voting age population participates in their legislative elections. Only what percentage voted in our primary? 11%. So we have some of the least competitive legislative elections in the world. And because of that, incumbents have their safe little districts that they've all carved out, and they're not accountable. Money and incumbency rules. So the few places where somebody wins is because they got the most money. And if you're raising money like the devil's chasing you, like John Corson did in Richland County, he raised $1.5 million. He has raised over the last 20 years, $1.5 million. He's had a total of 6 primaries and 6 general elections. Guess how many competitors he's had in those? 2. He's had a couple of Democrats run against him in generals. No primary competition since the mid-90s. 1.5 million. What do you do with $1.5 million if you don't have any competitors? You take kickbacks and you get indicted, and he might be going to jail. He might not be the only one. John Krangle's going to address this further. I'm not going to. How am I doing on time? Almost done. Almost going to get the can. I've got to finish. But I want to talk about solutions. I want to talk about solutions because it's a bleak picture. It's a bleak picture, is it not? But there are solutions. And that's what the network's been doing for 21 years. As Robert opened up with, and Daniel, and everyone has been speaking, we're building a multiracial, multi-issue, statewide movement with the capacity to implement our values. Are our values money? Are our values gerrymandering? No, our values are justice and equality. And we're working on building the power to implement those by organizing around issues, not candidates, but issues, values, and principles. And we have what's called an inside-outside strategy, and Brett and Representative Kyle Hunter are going to flesh this out at 4 o'clock. We're both inside the major party structure. We've had incredible success inside the South Carolina Democratic Party, but we're also outside. We're always outside the party as well. We have an inside-outside strategy. And our goal eventually is to grow our own candidates. We don't know. Are we going to have our own party one day? Are we going to rehabilitate one of the 2 existing parties that are broken? We don't know yet. We don't know. But as Brett says, give us a movement with muscle, and we'll tell you where we'll sleep later. So we're developing the capacity to punish or reward. Developing the capacity to punish or reward. Because of the gerrymandering, do you think we can just toss our hat into the ring with any of these races? No, we can't. We've been incredibly selective, incredibly targeted with our electoral work, our C4 work. Make sure we differentiate here so that IRS doesn't come after us. We have our C3 wing, our policy and research think tank, and we have our C4, which is our individual members. And our C4 has been incredibly selective. For the last 2 election cycles, we've chosen three candidates to work for. In 2014, Justin Manberg, we helped him win by sending out 8,000 postcards telling folks that they have their Medicaid card stolen by Nikki Haley in the Republican Party. He won, and he's accountable to us. And in 2016, we chose 2 candidates, one to reward and one to punish. And you won't hear this from anyone else, but we have a trans-electoral policy. We punish Lee Bright. Anybody heard of Lee Bright? Yeah. Is he around anymore? No. Part of the reason is because the Progressive Network worked against him. We found a Republican, yes. We didn't agree with him on everything, but it was rational at least. He wasn't Lee Bright. And we worked for him, we made phone calls, we knocked on doors, and helped the conservation voters of South Carolina get Lee Bright out of office and get a rational Republican, Scott Talley, into office, and Mike Fanning, a longtime network member, who has worked with us on the moral budget campaign for years. Longtime member, our Rock Hill chapter, got out, knocked on doors, made phone calls, and he's in office and he's allowed. Yes, Mary Keenan. There you go. Mary Keenan should get a round of applause for all the work she did for that.
Hi, let me say that in the Spartanburg thing, this is new for us to let's pick somebody to punish in support of Republican. We could hear minds blowing across town. But Lee Bright, for y'all, those of you that are new, Lee Bright wants to print our own money, make our own light bulbs, and would probably bring back slavery if we could vote on it. But if there are 19 legislators, Senate and House members representing Spartanburg, none of them had Democratic opposition. If you were a Democrat, or just little to the right of Attila the Hun, living in Spartanburg, you had no one to vote for. So we polled our members there. Let's try and get rid of somebody. And it worked.
So we're building momentum, we're gaining ground, we're building momentum. We just need more people to take this out to the communities, to your churches, your schools, your civic organizations. Again, this is not proprietary. This information is not private. This is all from the State Election Commission's website. This is a result. We just ran the numbers. These maps are incredible. We need to put our stamp on them so people don't take them and make money off them. But we don't think people are going to make money off this, but this is telling. First of all, this is telling the truth. You don't make much money telling the truth. But also this is something we want people to have in their hands. We want people to take this. We need to build a movement. We've got the strategy. We just need more people to implement it. And finally, a lot of people think that carrying doesn't do any good, but it's important to recognize that in the process of carrying, you set yourself free, and that's what we're doing. It's going to take a long time to ungerrymander these districts, but in the process, we're working to set ourselves free. So, take a question.